Oyerepa News.
Emrana Sasubi Mamu Sama kan Yadiaba Promise 102.7 Omutie or Sanso and Oyerepa 100.7 FM Oyerepa TV and Promise TV. Baby Anambiano, which me a share Ebushaba Kunani womb. Promise Broadcasting Limited and ye can want somebody to one. Nadia said, you're a John Dramani Mahama, Mampeni or the Assembly, Atuja HS, Sikavia, any maybe Honomua, Yana Air Cosso, Ewa Aben Mamuno. Enchaye enti ewo se eba na wiye anwumre wodi nkomo kakra ede afa ho
aban fotosanfo ede atutwa se aban nyumanwuma ede mfaso eba economy oman mu no enoson
osoafo a ohwe Ghana na amanhoro nkitawodi do onyamfo kujotaba kwa chemte ine sika Ghana nyi kotua gege passport no we hwano da mabre Ghana for bati dende
eno no wasa to aso no wechechire mu se Ghana adihia a wo so aye krado yesi adu mu fi America ba nse Donald Trump ba yi emu nzempi Ghana for ka ho eno so nkomo ewa ha
ankane soafo wo hwe na wo hwe adan ene adansie nsam so ono bukojo oponkroma e kire se sabrei o wogidie se aban dwuma na wo ya titiri hospital wo sie no eni kwase eda ho ti osre owura John Dramani Mahama se wabai de won to sa enwuma no asie so
na onyafu kojo oponkroma kwado kasa na olucheme de akomabose ka afi muta fotosanfo to goto mrahye bagoma anyime no ahokyere Ghana fu community wantum wanya bibiara amfa ho ntine budget no za ahokyere pa no de babra Ghana fo nsam bi kada mensam na nwumri yazre boso mo dembre asemfo wasem senum kro gin na ndwuma ko bi ana wanso ina senum na nwumri yare ya na damna Better GPC capsules na mixer sisu yerba apod afi oyewa osi wo sisu echiri na afi ne nkrodo ni na asiatica no foko danwan bomodina aburo ye pharmacy na afi heba shop biarem na koje oye Better GPC capsules na mixer bi no more ye pa 0244939193 ena inde efra ebejimu enchiremu na wetum wabo ye pa kanjin inagic drinking water insukranji a eron no no sans Oyerepa onam inziban ndro wombiti da calcium oye magnesium potassium na fe iron no oyaza oboye pa ema enum nsu a otum bo ma dankankan ho na wobra nda ho anofa impoda wabran afi oye nsu bi enum aboa ema monje dziwu wi no mu afursan ye pa oye nsu bi nsu a eronum no no oroma wo honam no oye moto da afaba no honam ntine kopa bi ni nyina ne titiu no nsu ye nsu bi enum a obo akoma no ho ban obo wasra ha no ho ban obo oye wahara woni nyina no ho ban a ni nyina ramrekire heart liver and kidney no bomodina tufunko oye Brahman UGC another Tafu New Road Abawa Route Junction etufunko hoy furthermore humatrufu ye na hiwonzi nkomo 0241449191
sanso na ye kai wo se sawyam ye oya wo yam kura eye Gasto Misha GASTO Misha ebeboa o titiri wo typhoid fever wo yam ye oya didi bia yam ye oya udidi aduane shaw so sa wo kesu uyi from asa stomach ulcer Gasto Misha ebetuo se amon afewu yo ba kwa afikire wote yawa eye Mesoplast Misha bonus e wo mu anisem eye yeast infections white nyina no eyini ho ema eye kama fe menstrual disorder so kwa afikire na enoma sisisu a eye Mesoplast Misha Prostaplast Misha nso eboa emema wo fanom ejanom ekronom merimanom ebo monoma no ho by prostate ebo mo ho by free prostate ho nombie upebie to amisti aba komase kapeba wosunyane capsule pharmacy Kofodia Repast Ventures Okanshi Drug Lane Ekus Pharmacy wa Shaiman anayen for 0248778899 0248778899 Amamra Piesie Jumedi Adiba Oyerepa TV so no se wonu fontom from Densiomo Egura bra woni manwensɛm panyinsɛm adom nkomansɛm ka amammerɛ piesie dwumadie no yɛse bra na bɛkyerɛ deɛ wobɛtumi ayɛ na wowei ne wodi nkoni mu a wobɛnya kaa wobɛtumi anya kaa bɛgye wo fam ɛyɛ 50 Ghana cedis pɛ ɛyɛ 18 years ɛkɔ frɛ 059 170 7983 059 170 7983 anaa bɛbɔ Oyerepa ha no mo na wabɛtɔ fam no
ebi ka we hu na ya transie mu betie kyese be so mo Oyerepa 100.7 FM abusua me de Krobea Asante me ne anuanom
Piesie Lardi
Uncle Ebo Baini afa yɛmfa nsɛm no mu nkyerɛmu nso mu na anwumbere no nsia kase bɔɔro twego Oyerepa 100.7 afa wuro Facebook so a wɔmbra hɔ Oyerepa live wɔ Facebook and afei Oyerepa radio nso wɔ Facebook ne mu biara no wɔn saba kan na ahwɛ kaseɛboi bi wɔ hɔ na yɛrekɔ ɔsɔafo a ɔno ɔhwɛ Ghana ɛna amanfoforo du nkitahudi makyerɛ foreign affairs minister onyamfo Samuel Okudzeto abrakwa ɛna ɔdze ato gwada in the day ebo a nanka obi rekɔ ɔyɛ passport office do ɔyɛ Ghana nyi na ɔrekaje passport mu ehu da mpa ɔyɛ Ghana nyi mapa wɔgyere no ɔyɛ ata indei waye mu nsakra abanji ba nanka no nanka ɛrekɔ akaje ɔyɛ passport na 500 Ghana cedis na kyerɛ 32 pages na ɔno no ɔyɛ 500 Ghana cedis no no ɛna wɔ ɔyɛ in the day wɔ ɔyɛ abankasimu no mbrahye begom no opanyini 02 go hɔ dɛ aban waayɛ na adwene dɛ sisiara ɔzere fi ɔyɛ 500 Ghana cedis no about 350 Ghana cedis na ɔlikyerɛm dɛ ne nyinara gyina in the day ɔyɛ dwumadza ɔman yɛ fotosamfo Dr. Kesel Atofosen ada no akɔmmɔbɔ sika ɔdokɔto mbrahye begom a ɔsrɛ mbrahye begom no dɛ mbra ɔte yɛ kyirma so obi rekaje passport 32 pages a otua 500 no ɔwɔ dɛ ɔma ɔwɔ dɛ wɔsesɛ dɛm mbranum na wɔto bo no do ima ɔba 350 Ghana cedis no ɔne sɛ so nti ɛna aban egyina do ɔdze di dɛm dwuma no na ɔpanyin lekyerɛ ɔyɛ Ghana fo dɛ dɛm ɔyɛ ntudu a wabɛi aban tena ase hwehwɛm a hunu dɛ mpa ɔyɛ ɔbɔboɔ Ghana fo na ɔlekyerɛ dɛ ɔmfa sika nsunsuando bɔne biara mfa mmerɛ aban na mmom Ghana fo ne wɔ ho bɔtɔn enti no dambra oyimiamfo no si kyerɛ nsɛm no yegudara Yerepa enze no na yabɔ na yɛdza asom ho na opanyin likyerɛm dɛ in the day Ghana ma ho kyerɛ aba na ɛkɔ passport office dɛ rekaje passport na afei nso no ɛbɔ a wɔgye no ɔdza ho kyerɛ bebre na de babrɛ Ghana fo ne sɛ so nti aban rehwɛ na wato do dzama aban Yerepa enze ne dzama ho na medimafo Heba Hospital Dr. Time da so yenka nkyerɛw fa Yerepa biara ɔre hɔ no fabra wɔ ɔyɛ Kumase ebua kwa atwuma agogo poko ase nkran ɔyɛ poko ase mayira fra Dr. Time da so non sɛ Yerepa no fam 0244 774282.
In our efforts to make passports more accessible to all Ghanaians and per instructions I have received from His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, we are pleased to announce a reduction in the cost of the ordinary passport booklet, that is the 32-page booklet, from the 500 Ghana cedis to 350 Ghana cedis. We will in the coming days be presenting an amendment to the fees and charges to ensure that this reduction is approved by the House from 500 Ghana cedis down to 350 Ghana cedis. That is the new policy position of the Mahama administration. I'm sure, Mr. Speaker, you might have read that a passport reform committee has been set up to study and review the contract which we inherited. That review is underway. And indeed, all the partners are meeting tomorrow to conclude the exercise of the review. When the review of the contract is done, we will move into a phase-out rollout of the chip-embedded passport, and we expect a smooth transition.
Enti onyimnyafo okujeto abrakwa nanu si wie no ina olu chimede aban je inyama lugwa kwenmu a inde se Ghana nyi disi ko passport office do or copy passport a obenyen wo ahobrodo a onkafa ohaw bebremu afi abana ye na adwene de abanada ya otwemi amantem ahuru nsia odebaka amantem dade wo man Ghana wo ho no olbesisi oye passport office wo ho na akuje to kasa na olicheme de onam de abane pede inde se Ghana nyi biara kapa passport a onka bra ho na ntampawa da amano no abanso de nyamalugu akwam de inde de se ekọ na wajuzika bibiara na wonyama tutom na waye passport na mo so wie a he bebiara ete no abandi nyamalugu akwam de wazo passport be bro wo fie dembra wa wie no
na ni nyina mo ye nya yenim se yewra Donald Trump oba esa America mampani wo cha se nkofo bi ya wo mo fifiri nkofo ama so ba wo mani mu no nukure ni wo so sa ama nkofo komkrum gwono mo besa akudukrum pa Ghana ha no de ya titietie enne sese enipa makoma ko besa 150 ena sabre ogu aban akache ya nyankropon ya no America wa ye besan atwa masuo no waba wo mamu Ghana ha na nya asam ketu akora ene wakuje travel akwa soafo a wo hwa amano ne nsam so ne nkasa yi mu no wode eto so se nukura ni obi ono mu a no akoto mo na rape obi so no mu a amansante ntan kwantempo so okro no bo internet fraud sanso so ene obi wo mo fa akoti kwan so no wura America ma animu to mi na no mo kafo ya mo ha beche anase wo hanchiche mu ne ne pepe so aba beduru si ya no a ene yesi ebu no kuntam kura so mo ye be so ha aduonum no na ni nyina mu wo to aso se edi kan kura no ene ye bia di kan babadada na nso so no de obete ho asema nsa na eye nchichemu na nkomodie no kura no ekokobae se asensaf mrahye bedwani Reverend John Ntimfodwo ene kopija ho asem baaye na obisa ne se anyibia woni ya yesi ye de wo mufiri America mamu akọ mama mamu no Ghana fodwo se ne wom ene okudjeto abla kwa bechirim sei 150 ene wachire no ene wo to aso sei na said wo meto aso aba no we can say
updates from the Washington mission indicates as follows. Currently there are 150 Ghanaians in detention across various centers in the US who are awaiting deportation for crimes such as rape, internet fraud, and illegal entry. None of the affected Ghanaians are in detention as we speak. 50 out of the 150 individuals have received final deportation orders from the courts. Their deportation is expected to take place by mid-year, mid-2025. The remaining 100 cases are either under appeal or have been dismissed. Representations have been made to U.S. authorities on behalf of one Ghanaian on the grounds of ill health, and he has been released to seek medical care. 3 Ghanaians have also been processed and are scheduled to depart from the United States on commercial flights on the 19th of March 2025, the 28th of March 2025, and 1st April 2025, respectively. 10 Ghanaians have also been interviewed by the embassy to verify their nationalities and ensure that they have received a fair hearing. They are now awaiting the Department of Homeland Security to purchase their flight tickets before their travel documents for their deportation can be issued.
Nisa mo akuje to abla kwa na mote no nkan na chese chichemu a odi tu ya nani mu Ghana fo a sabre watu atwi se wo se ye bo chire di wo mo oman mu no na mote se wodi nchirichirimu ma areho se ye wo se ye bo mpa ye ma sabio ani anka onipa de kura be duru fi asundwe mu a na ni won so ode hia ba na ni wa no na wasan to aso se mienu kura de o medical badada mienu bi kura de se de o mo fa akwati kwa kura o chirim sei.
In partnership with Panama and Costa Rica, the U.S. has established agreements to temporarily detain deportees in these countries before they are returned to their home countries. Under these arrangements, migrants who are deported from the U.S. are often held in detention camps in Panama or Costa Rica as part of the deportation process. However, reports from detainees have highlighted concerning conditions in these camps. Migrants held in Panama, for example, have complained about harsh living conditions, limited freedoms, and restricted access to legal assistance. These complaints have raised concerns about the treatment of individuals awaiting deportation in these temporary detention facilities. The Ghana mission, Mr. Speaker, in Washington has reported that 2 Ghanaian nationals were recently deported to Costa Rica by ICE. The mission is working with the International Organization for Migration, IOM, for eventual transfer to Ghana. The involvement of these third-party countries in the deportation process reflects a broader U.S. strategy to manage its deportation efforts and control migration flows. Targeting of unaccompanied migrant children.
Honorable Samuel Kuja Chabla Koso for Chabana in some sona, Moten when Caninti Ghana this year, yes, Abri Donald Trump by na Ababidi Mampeni, no Oguso, Woodin Mampeni, Ewo America Memono, Onia, Odu Moko, Oma Mama, so Ghana Cradie, Ebian Yisha, Dudwani from Mobanusha, Ebiaha, and Edunum 150, the Winsam Enono.
Yantua and Semno Elsewhere. Amai Fotosan for Finance Minister Dr. Kessel Atoforsen, Wane Nipakobi Eshiamuna, no diabobo, Ebu Konta, Mathematics Alpha Ghana, Australia, Abanyuma Kuahodo, Juma Wanum Edi Edeboise Economy, Omaisika Samnon in Tutuan Ebekoye. And on what says state owned enterprises, SOEs, ye Abanyuma Numa, Edisika Eba Omainumono. Eya kakra bi eno nti awasada tibiano we ye bibi fa ho sade ebeya ebetumi adoso.
President, some specific numbers that we've seen so far indicate, for example, that the electricity company of Ghana, for example, has recorded consistent losses from the year 2021. In the year 2021, they made a loss of 1.46 billion Ghana cedis. 2022, 8 billion Ghana cedis. 2023, 5.96 billion Ghana cedis. The Ghana Grade Company made a loss of 93.5 million Ghana cedis in 2022, 8.6 million Ghana cedis in 2023. Gihok Distilleries reported a loss of 25.1 million Ghana cedis in 2022 and 25.5 million Ghana cedis in 2023. Mr. President, this one surprises me. Even the alcohol making company is making losses. Graphic Communication Group also saw a consecutive losses of 3 million Ghana cedis in 2021, 4.4 million Ghana cedis in 2022, and 15.1 million in the year 2023. The Ghana Cocoa Board, the largest loss-making company, also saw 2.4 billion Ghana cedis loss in 2021 and 3.8 billion Ghana cedis in the year 2023. However, in the year 2024, Ghana Port and Harbors Authority started making losses, and we recorded a new company that has declared dividends. The State Housing Company replaced the GPHA, and the three of them, being the State Housing Company, the Ghana Re, and TDC, together contributed a dividend of 28.7 million Ghana cedis.
Anti omai sika samso for echremu se e free enfie kakra na chi ne obunkunta ne ba abanyuma ku ayehwe se obenya faso na baba be pia omai ni sika sam no wo mo aboka maka da ho no na chese ya chen kaka ama empo enyuma ku a mo yensa wo mo nyina no mo ntimi empulu esika no ntimi mma chese na nsanya na abanya kache ahwese sisi adan no omutimi ye bi kakra wo mo ebe mo enti na se omutimi mpefo mo ye mfaso ye pay fro mo se beba abepi economy ne sikasam no akọ nanim no da biba amfani chiki emfaso bi ani ho a efrumu aba Dr. Kesel Atoforsen
nti Piesie ai honorable pedo chede insana wo ye no nkrofa ambo wanom ambo nti ekawa bem
ebia obi oba no mabode quantity ni bedo so sika ne beko but ebia oma ya anom ne kese
man Ghana
ebia oma anom ne kese
yantie do na edom kuma wo mrase bagom na wor kase na dom kuma worbo oye abani sommode akomabo sika in the day oman ya fotosamfu kogina mrase bagom oye adanu brade du kotu gwano njema bia na nkowo de na obwa ema inde ohawa yewo oman Ghana nisikasamo ntutuimu no odi enyomagwa akwam na nko yifi ho no abana anya ne dam na wo innade yewudei ana inde oso nka no so afa ono no hwe adanisi ina ndwuma samodo onyamfo kodwo oponkroma na olichem de ahwan oya edomkuma wo mrase begom no fotosamfo na ba na oda akomobosi karaban na nka mo hwe enyim de akomobosi kano di nyama bi bogu akonu ma oboboa mma indade no Ghana mbabun enye adwuma waye afe nkane bo nsoro a olokoso no nka wabafam onyimyamfo kodwo oponkroma lichirem de ni nyinara akomobosi no wentum amfada menyama na ngufom ahwe ehwe innwuma nkakramba boto a owo man Ghana ma wo hola kire won no akomobosi kan wamfanyama biare nwa akonu ma obom hunanyi dado de ampa worko hunanyimi ahokyere a wowom na hunyanyi a worko no abane dinyama gu akwama won ho boto hon olkyem de akomobosi ka no entum amfada menyama ni mu biare nwa akwanim.
Now, I just therefore want to demonstrate to you how the priorities of the government will not answer some of the most important people have on their minds. Before the budget, many of you did what we call vox pop. You went on the street and what you see as the economic result or the economic end of this revenue and borrowing and expenditure that the government is going to do. You will recall that a number of issues were raised by many Ghanaian youth and small businesses, expecting that this new economic policy 2025, among other things, cost of living challenges, that it will address, among other things, unemployment, address investment in infrastructure, that it will address investment in education, and efforts to improve the business climate, investment in healthcare, among others. Unfortunately, these issues have not been addressed by the economic policy. The priority is elsewhere. For those who are looking forward to efforts to halt further increases in electricity bills, they have been disappointed to note that electricity prices will rather be adjusted every quarter. The minister referred to it as the quarterly adjustment of utility tariffs.
Onyamfo kodwo oponkroma no wensi ho na olichirem de anwan edom kuma na wo mrase bagom no enanka aja oye akomobosi kan wodi shem da war baba ya oye honwon a wosusuro oja hoche bebra Ghana fo de abana esina adwene pide busuma ba asan biara wo bohwe de nkane ya ka wo botutum afefanwo mechira petrol diesel kerosene ena mo kaka huinara wo chem da busuma ba asan biara wo ba yenhwem na we pagya burum watum akosoro kakra ye no na kodwo ponkoma lechem de da menyama nyina yo hawa ohwode mo man Ghana nanso aban na komobosika ode botum na sebegom anyi no wansusu ehu de wo ba ye bibi de afa ho aboa Ghana fo.
Worse is that the government clandestinely removed the subsidies on gas that is made available to the IPPs. Remember, because government was subsidizing, the pricing was at about $7.8 per MMBTU. If you listen to the minister in the budget, he says gas prices have increased. Why on earth will the government increase gas prices? He hid the fact. The fact is that government, the NDC government, has withdrawn the subsidy. And that is why the price has gone up now to $8.4 per MMBTU. This gas is what is used by the IPPs to produce power, and then they'll pass on the cost to us. So in effect, things are happening. Not only is going to go up every 3 months, it will be going up at a higher rate from now. So there's no hope when it comes to the reset of energy pricing.
na onyimyafo kojo opon kromade na no lisinu na ole cheme de ahwe akohumabo sika wode botumi asese biara su biara nyi ho a oboboa mande idzibanambo wabafom wo omane ganem ni nyina gina aban ni sese biara ya in the day no ahwe planting for food and jobs oya ekwa dwuma nhyehyaya abandadan dugu akonoma nka oboboa ma indzibana baye pa na indzibana bo ayedin no abani se inne wotwem onye biem afe nso no abana amfanji seri biara enwa akonoma ayede bobo edzibana ho ban afe oya asente de bo a de biara kwaso no abana ntuma amfanji seri biara enwa akonemu nti da menyama nyina ka planting for food and jobs a wotwem no ho no olechem do obama oya indzibana bo a wakoso wo memu no obokoda na wakoso.
Before the election, everybody was talking about food inflation, the size of a ball of kinky, the pricing of food stuff. It's been a major challenge to most Ghanaians. Now, you will recall that the MPP introduced the Planting for Food and Jobs program, which was aimed at boosting productivity. But there were some outstanding issues that needed to be dealt with to ensure that that increased productivity could translate into reduced prices at the markets. In the policies outlined by the government in this 2025 budget, there are no efforts to do outstanding issues. The government's program is only to boost production like the MPP did. The key remaining challenges such as transport, farm gates, poor storage of foodstuffs, and a liberalized pricing regime have not been attended to. And what it means, continuous increase in food prices have not been addressed. Food price inflation will therefore remain in the medium term. 2025 economic policy has not addressed it. Transport fares. Unfortunately, you can expect that transport fares will continue to rise. This is because the government has not introduced any measure to intervene with the market forces.
Enti onyamnyamfo kojo opon kroma aya akomobosika yedikogu akonuma olechira de obama hocher abagana fo hono duye pa ne munchirem ene yeda asumui.
No yet was so honorable kojo opon kroma ni nsam no na otre se sabre ya NDC aban abano enanu wotie din budget ya honorable Kessel ato force ndokoto udwa na wohunu se sika wate ato ho se de be infrastructure sisi hospital ni ade aboa ama ayarhwe akoson eyekuto woma bi little boy akwada akotoa na oni gidie se aban yi ebeto agenda 111 asopete a aban no MPP aban no echa ase no ede abawie nti we die wasra ni die mu se His Excellency Awula John Dramani Asankusu Mahama entoa sa adwuma no a na abadada no eye no eso.
Finally, even more worrying is the Agenda 101 project, which many districts are looking forward to. It appears to be heading for a halt. Budget allocations for its continuation appear elusive. The dedicated source of funding, and you remember they misbriefed the president that there was no dedicated source of funding, that you needed $1.7 billion more to finish, and that only one had been completed. Even the brief they gave the president was not correct. 3 had been completed and commissioned. Already 400 million had been paid, so it wasn't 1.7 billion. And the claim that there was no dedicated source of funding wasn't true. The dedicated source of funding was Give Health, which was receiving funds from the CAPEX allocation of the annual budget funding amount. Now they've constrained it, as the government is signaling that they will cut funding to Give. Furthermore, no clear alternative financing has been identified in the budget to fund the project. And this is truly worrying, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is this contrary to the NDC's promises to health workers, you will recall that they will continue the project. You recall President Mahama, candidate Mahama, promising the next, don't worry, we'll continue the projects and finish them and employ you in them.
Onumanya fokojo opon kroma eche se amani bokro ye de kobo no fa agenda 111 ho no e well dodge anfa kwamu ba gaskiya ba sebi enye no kranya sa na etie nenu no oto aso ese eye big push program a ebeso so nyumanyuma asene manfo asene ma watimi akonkan na economy ni so akonkan no wasise sika no so budget no eno so ye kotowama.
Infrastructure investments are known to be a key if you want to open up, grow the economy, create more jobs. Unfortunately, however, the government has been making the necessary budget allocations to give meaning to even their own planned infrastructure program. Their planned infrastructure program is what? The big push, $10 billion. If you prorate it over 4 years, that's about 2.5 billion cedis or $2.5 billion per annum. you will expect that if the government itself is serious about its own big push, they will make available $2.5 billion in their first budget. They have all the goodwill and the credibility. If you go into the fiscal tables, it's only $800 million, less than $1 billion.
Ono wanya fokojo opon kroma se opese economy ni kwa ye hia dan fi se obabi anyumo se de na obayo ni nyina dan na hia infrastructure no eho sika no ayade a enso ono wanya fokojo opon kroma enka ne swafo a na ohwe adan ene adansie ensem so
Oyerepa 100.7 FM shini egusu ega se wasugu awetie no nsem foforo mo no ye ni chirim yewra John Dramani Mahama mampani ene wo kire se saa ade no a ase yetwa se bia to no mo ne da ho no mo adi o manyinya se no kura nyankopon ne ebu nsem atiko ohwe nanim ene se de sie tie bia no a yentimi entwamu da no wo se ebiri aso e wo se etwamu dwumadi asuruku bia ekwoso e wo mpanimfo mo da danwumeku awodoa no wo manyi mo mchesi wusu no na wodi nsem itu o manim sabe obi wono mane apaw no sa won konkoda aban adwuma bia no ampa nukranie wanya dwumadie no abeka ne nsa ye wose adwuma no kora no hen we ni ye na ha obosu okwa sikadie basa de nsese yade aban sika kokoto de nsese sabio yade asabomu de nsese yade oman sika ye ne yade ye woni betie no na aban adwuma na agu aban soso aban ekanye aban de ne obi ani so mo na tenkra ho no na nsoso eda asabo a ye ne sika ene yadidi sa adwuma no enti eba ne sa no a na kwabrane kura be dai enye adwuma ne bi aye o man so nwuma nhye danim enti sa ne ye bone no e we se etwamu ne nsem ni.
This morning's activity is not just a forum for discussion but a decisive call to action, demanding bold leadership, accountability, and an unwavering commitment to excellence from you as chief executives of state-owned enterprises. This meeting reaffirms my commitment to the promise of a shake-up of all loss-making SOEs and realigning them to break even and transition into profit-making. As you have all noted, my 2024 campaign promises and the 120-day social contract with the good people of Ghana were not mere rhetoric. The 2023 State Ownership Report produced by the State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, reveals the inefficiencies affecting many of our SOEs. And this demands that we act with conviction and courage to tackle the systemic challenges confronting these enterprises. Many of our specified entities have operated inefficiently for far too long. They've been burdened by waste, underperformance, conflict of interest, and a complete detachment from national interest. Many of our SOEs have been used as mere instruments for generating personal wealth for persons appointed to positions within the entity.
Mampeni John Dramani Mahama ena motenu enkane bra do ahia penifo do a wode watuatua titru abanwa wodo ano se wonhwe na wonhwe so na onye ne yie no na na futui ekoso ede amawone abuzuafo fetu mbate clinic se bra na beje apomde mesrew wo kwa yade bia se betu ampa obi ono mana ne nkwam wo fom be ma ade na abrego kontrom de ko anu akora ho de mesrew ko ho na kwaji apomde wate mama fit adwuma wo bo na wo bo no ese wani enso ka kire kura pressure oyem na ye oya stomach o se titru na meka wazemi wo ono makoti nam yade mu nna no na se nam yade no ya ne ha adwen papa wo ono mana na yitititi arthritis ne titisa oni ye hawo wani hawo oni ne hawo mesrew faith mu party clinic for ni chire mahema kokobi 18 mu mama faith dwuma wo bo no 0556 272 0246
Edam kuma wo mrashe begom na woreka sei na worekyerete abani indei nsembia ozuru tugwa ewo oman na soye a ohwe enyinamoto no oyaza ontwe ye kura no kore bi nyim na edom kuma no in the day woye nsentrofu nhiem wo nkran pumpuni mantem na opanyina ogina medika se mahwan ye indei nkan oman futusamfo meche former finance minister Dr. Amin Adam in all chem de abani be in all chem da aban a watwami wa broka brezeze gwo wo oye asoye a ohwe enyinamdo no no opanyini chem do oboa oyaza ahwan ebra wo baje tumfi innai abani a otudi wo bra ne bra odikran mun oja oye ekawo de to oye enyinama honden asoye no wo ekawo oja no na oye America sika dollar no opepepepe ebien na chipo wanum me kira $2.5 billion na oja to ho na ehwo no so wona abanda da utwami a wor kwei oye sika inde woja ekawa woja to wo ma ho no so ye America sika no dollar no opepepepe ebien na chipo anan $2.4 billion nisa sunti awon wona abani a otwam dada yi oya da wabon ho mbodzen pa chen man ho wobaji fi woni sem no na Dr. Amin Adam afe all culture amampanyin mahama ena na banete wo mmodzenara kanye preso dum so yo all kodo wo oman ne fa baby no wo mmodzena de wo be hu bibi na Ghana fo enyan kanye o sane de abandada yo twemi oman kanye ne gina do wo emfi pop awotwa preso amba no banedana na brudi orohema in the day preso abantino wonhwe na wonya hu bribi.
When we took over from NDC, we inherited an energy sector debt of $2.5 billion. $2.5 billion didn't include debts in VRA, it didn't include debts in ECG. These were debts to IPPs and debts to fuel suppliers. 2.5 billion. By the time we left government, the total debts we left, was $2.4 billion. So if you inherited $2.5 billion and you kept the lights on for 8 years, and then you left with a debt of $2.4 billion, then you really have done so well to keep the lights on without adding to the debt. In fact, there is a document that was published by government. We call that Energy Sector Recovery Program, which estimated that when we took over with $2.5 billion debt in the energy sector, if we did nothing about the situation, because the energy sector was badly money before we took over. Now, if we did nothing, the debts were going to increase to $12 billion in 5 years. So debts that should have increased to $12 billion in 5 years, in 8 years, ended up with $2.4 billion. That should tell you that President Akufo-Addo took the necessary decisions.
Enkan amai futusamfo meshra former finance minister Dr. Amin Adam ena oditugwa nti abani hwe na kanya preso no onye ma onjina do sane de hwan mfia wotwe nyinara wo man kanya ni jina do
enkomodi ba kwa sesa sorry pa ewo sa abansi sayimu ene de mampani John Dramani Mahama ne bo sha wodo o se ene mu ne za betting no ba ko lottery tax ena ba ko so betting tax na nchichemu anase nchichemu a enne say betting tax ni omo a ebia wo football bi ekoso soccer so ho na bia makotwetwa bet bi ni sa na manema no ewo ntintan no eso enye no gwampo ebi de a vieta ne de ke betting tax no ena lottery no so ye wo mo oja mbakwa akujira kiosu bi ho na ne teta no mo nsusu atwa commission ye ntima ene de tete sa no ni nyina da eno so eka ho lottery tax na nchichemu ni nchichemu no ene ba bepim se Dr. Amin Adam Samote nka emprempre no wakasa sisi a yo soafo a kane no hwe o masika sem so no wechechemu Asante ase no ena Ghana fo sabio onum enya sanse onu nchechemu wode ma ye ne betting tax no ene sa lottery tax no enchichemu ewom enchichemu omu pa na nchichemu a ewomu ano ene ne sei se bia wanka se womu no e de betting tax ne beba na emum lottery tax ene bi nso so afa ne se bia lottery tax na emum enye betting tax echese enchichemu no onu wankasa ene ochechemu sei
betting tax. But it is different from taxes on winnings from other forms of lottery, games of chance, staking lotto. They are not the same as what they are promising to abolish. And so if I see in the statement by the minister that he will abolish winnings from lotto or lottery and call that betting tax, then it sounds reasonable for me to think that he's equating betting tax, which they promise to abolish, to the taxes from winnings from other, lotteries or other games of chance. And I know that the winnings from lotto, for example, the tax on that was not implemented. And I know that for sure, for a fact. So as finance minister, I held several meetings on how to implement it. Following petitions from National Lotteries Authority. And I facilitated meetings between MLA and GRA to discuss how to implement. So I know for a fact that it wasn't implemented. And so I could not be taking advantage of the mistake the minister made.
Ntiene no chesa to force na emfonso. We no doctor Adam. Ya onu ye kan so afọ do hwe o masika sem so na motin wen kan nti se be ti no se lotro ni na tax eni twato betin tax ni lotro tax na de na edi ahim wo ma yimu no betin no de no kure ni wutwa ni atew ti se bia 2000 adi ya oni betia we be ba na chese 200 Ghana ne ko fe susu lotro ni so de da so no ni nyina na de da so ti na chese set ye tia no no ya hwe de kobo no be kwa kusisan se afei na komasika budget ya kenkan ye echiri ye bisi bia no ire to aso ne yakuanim
wasam yasam won masam omayimu nsam budget nsam ne yasam ye de mamu se kase numu ensam na esanse oboso miensa aye Ghana man eboso me Ghana man ti enyumakuo ankrankre Ghana omafo aye no ma ye de eka ye ho se fritete sensitive up antico no brempon twedi ampon wode aba beduru wogba ejeke woje son yakwan wa yefrachiri eni abeduru hantie kaka ye ho nti sabrei ya ne eka ye ho se ogo acheke adibie nuane no ye ni niye pa na emoye eno na Lucky Herbal Heritage Month wo mo so ehyehyɛ so di bia hyehyɛ so ewo kaso a ewutu senya east krosini mu ewo mfimfini mantemu wo so se bosome wonum edi pa nti wo fredom twedom nyaadom edom be pie honomo e ma wo bo odwa pa nkasa ho so ekoso Dr. Apostle Samuel Amegashi wo ye CEO Emma Amegashi Herbal and Spiritual Clinic and Herbal Medicine wo see wo hwe Ghana ahabenro ana abibidura edintintiman pa evise se bi mpredua se bi son ohene kura swai eyi yade ha nipa yade edi nipanwa enti Ghana habanduro ni habantete ne so eye adwuma enti wo se His Excellency Awula John Dramani Asankusu Mahama Ghana mampanyi ewo so no ho ye biribi efa habanduro adwuma ho wo ye ne sai mu betretre ama yenya sika bebre ewo manum ne beboa ama economy no asore agyan na so yie pa
no oman bia bekoso a oman ni hia niema ewo kuro ni mu emfaso efi so ba ohwe ebibiduru ewo ye man mu a ene na no mpanifo nyina beto ye eno nso no mu yusu yi ene o ma kire kwan ye mfaso nso yusu se de beboa ye but abre bia ye beka Ghana asema na se ye beko parliament wo no ye ka apomuden dia ye nka bibidu mfanka ho etimi nua Dr. Magashi de America che Ghana aban ni se so odi abrofudu be ba ye man we mu kwa ye hia bibiduro so support e wo so support ye because ngofo be wonu ma omu hia se ye de insurance be cover duro na bibiduro se de be omu ba omu so benya mfa so e wo so sanso na be de adesere to Ghana aban ni mu John Dramani ni nkofo se so wo se adwempa wo man ni ho a e be wo man ni mu bebrebe adwuma ye Dr. Magashi so timi de akwanya ma me se minda ebibi fa no basic herbal medicine training ade amo my Ghana said dey be ebibi do for my nim nyina ya fan krofo aye edwuma hospital.
Dr. Apostle Samuel Amegashi no na Lucky Herbal Clinic penyimpa de obi Lucky Herbal Clinic CEO wakasa ni dini Professor Noble Stephen Yeboa wose mabunu mo Ghana hanom no eni kwan sa ode won sahye won dembiri fam etna bamaso won pa adwuma nye free say de wani de wanya adwuma no eni kwan sa odidie
ema yempanifo no yase afa na nyina no se obi biara nya de obetumi aboa ne man enya oman Ghana yase afa na nyina no ye de adudu obi anya bibi mmoa ne man man tra se pani bi ammoa ne intimi nya adwuma men kom ba me de nsa be hye me de bi mfa kom beku if say impanifo no die omunya na ne afimu ba se obi atumi di yie no ebi mu adwen mbane nti oma chafa nye ono ho ne ye behwe se ye betra ho ayedi yabrabo bese
Professor Stephen Yeboa
Royal Mario Wusu ono na oye president Ozima Ghana National Registered Midwives Association na ɔde afotu zirma ndei ɔyɛ apɔmɔdin adwumayɛfo nkanka midwives dɛ ndei sɛ abane bɔne ho no bɔten dɛ ɔde wɔn kɔ ɔyɛ mmeammea nkanka nkurase ma wakɔyɛ adwuma wɔ hɔ ma apɔmɔdin dwumadi wakɔnkana a wɔn bɔ mmɔdzenara na wɔn gye ntum na wɔn kɔ na ɔno ɛna maame leka dɛ ndei ahɛ nkurase ɛna ndei hɔn dwumadi wɔ apɔmɔdin mu a wɔdze wokɔto hɔ a ɔno nkyerɛ dɛ wɔretwe waaso bi na ɔlekyerɛm dɛ sɛ ɔman biara bɔto mpɔn a ɛna kyerɛ dɛ apɔmɔdin nhyehyɛe yɛ ade a ogu akonum yie mu paa ne mu mba no wonya apɔmɔdin ne ho nhyehyɛe na ɔno ɛna ɔrekasa na ɔresrɛ abane dɛ abane mbɔ mmɔdenara na ɔnhyɛ ɔyɛ apɔmɔdin adwumayɛfo nkuran dɛ mmerɛ ɔbɛyɛ a baabiara a wɔdze obiara bɔto biara no ɔbɛkɔ no wakɔyɛ adwuma na maame de dɛm nsɛm nyinaa to gua wɔ ɔyɛ afotu kwan no do wɔ berɛ a ndei wɔrehyɛ hɔne fa a ɔyɛ second quadrennial national delegates conference ɔwɔ ɔyɛ kumase ha ɛna ɔde dɛm nsɛm no to gua
yɛkasa kwakurase a sɛbi na ɛnyɛ punishment yɛn nyinaa yɛhyɛ aseɛ wɔ akurase ɛna yɛba kurom akurase yɛbusuafoɔ naa na ɛwɔ hɔ yɛn a yɛwɔ kurom no yɛn nyinaa yɛmfi kurom nti sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛba kurom a yɛbusuafoɔ no yɛgye ɔmu wɔ hɔ no ho a na ɛbɛhwɛ ɔmu nti I will entreat and encourage midwives sɛ yɛde wokɔ akurase a ɛnhwɛ ne sɛ ɛyɛ punishment ɛno nti yɛde aba no ɛɛka sɛ yɛbɛyɛ a yɛbɛnya incentives ama yɛn a yɛkɔ akurase sɛdeɛ yɛbɛyɛ yɛni bɛgye sɛ yɛbɛkɔ akurase ɛfa education ne nneɛma baabi promotion ho sɛdeɛ wokɔ akurase a wonhu ne sɛ ɛyɛ punishment na wɔaho wankasa no ɛbɛboa sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wɔn a wɔwɔ akurase no so ɛbɛnya yɛ so mfasoɔ sɛ midwives.
na ɔno ɛna maame n'ano si na ɔresan atoɛ do waka dɛ nnɛ da yi ɛhwɛ nkurase wɔ apɔmɔdin dwumadim nkankan awo ne ngye wɔ midwifefo wɔne dwumadi a wɔgye a ɔhaw bebree no wɔ mu yie paa na adze koro a ɔnhyɛ dodo na nkoran ɛma nde wɔdze wɔn rekɔto hɔ a wɔmpɛ no nye dɛ ndwuma ne mfiri a ɔwɔ dɛ ɔkɔ nkurase ayaresabea dɛ mmerɛ ɔyɛ apɔmɔdin adwumayɛfoɔ kɔ a wɔbɛnya na wɔdze adwuma no ayɛ na bi nyi hɔ ne sɛ so nti aba no mmoɛ na ɔma mmɔdena nkurase ayaresabea no de mfiri na ndwuma ɔnkɔdo nkɔ wɔ hɔ.
Midwives, we have a lot of challenges. Ebi ne sɛ yɛ adwuma a yɛyɛ edu baabi a nneɛma yɛde yɛ adwuma koraa yɛni better condition of service. Yɛde sua mu education a yɛfɛ da yɛ ho edu baabi a midwife yɛyɛ limited. Nti ne nyinaa ka ho bi na yɛaka bom sɛ midwives to fight for one common goal. Na yɛne yɛ employers bɛkasa so that they will come to our aid. Sɛdeɛ midwives nso Ghana nyinaa bɛhu sɛ yɛn nso yɛyɛ one of the professionals a ɛwɔ Ghana Health Service or Ministry of Health. Ghana obiara nim sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛyɛ nurses. But Sawuba sector no more say we have different cadre of professions or Ministry of Health or under Ghana Health Service. Midwives, we are unique and we are different from nurses. Yajuma ye different from nurses. Ye share apemfo. Ansa na begin sankwa na ye midwives ye adwuma say ye be show. Na wo hu niema bi o se wo ye e wo apomiden ho ansa wa nyinsan. Ye be sia show wa nyinsan mu wa wo mu. Kozi se obenya 6 weeks.
Ora Joseph Ansa ya twatwafo panyine dzema Trade Union Congress wotwe ne tiafra TUC ono so kyerem de midwife fo woni dwumadzi a woredi wo man Ghana no oboye papa wonyi ho ankonye ne seso nti abanom bombotena mfonhye ne nyoma bi nwa akonom a oboboa ama midwife fo won abrabo ene dwumadzi a woredi no wa konkan ye po sane de woredi dwumason zerebo man Ghana.
Ele também não mostra, se você não sabe essa program dia, eu já tinha isso aqui na sua capa. O dia não ia ser não, eu não consigo não roubar ia ser não. O dia vai dia, se a no hospital eu vou no fio. Então já midwives, when you Krobea, and I know Krobea, they are very important. Oh my mo, we are suffering now. When you media no dem so.
Si ora Joshua Ansa, twatwa for pay di Trade Union TUC. Nano D718.
Osha hoden yeso wo maimu honorable John Japan na chire musa bandada no esna kwa sisi ya no no sese wo mu kra transformers bi ye no eye enyinam nkania transformers ya ye DCC na me enyinam no enne sese ano so mbese 1.5 billion Ghana cedis a ni nyina da aka wa abra yentumi enyi ya nukure nyankopon anim ni ɛsɛ na no na sɛ yaka ho asɛm wa ba bɛpem sɛ bra anyambia sɛ aban no ankasa no a wɔde aban ya wɔwɔ ɔmayi mu wɔno ne du ɔmayi soɔ sɛ aban no so ɔno akora tibi kra ne maba na afei ɛkɔba sasa aban no ankasa nso entumi nyia na ne yankora nso ɔmbɛ ndai emu nsɛm prekese ɛno na ɔpani John Gyinapo ɛka sɛ ɛne agya containers no bɛ sɛ 3,000 containers yeah no electricity transformers you enya some gitu ebi umpa 3,000 ebi and says akaho ye enyi no na be yi
program is to change all obsolete and outdated transformers, but we inherited the situation when we took over. I visited the Terminal. We have about 3,000 containers stuck at the Terminal. 3,000 containers, most of which contain transformers. Today, as we speak, we have figured ECG has a total liability of 13 billion from suppliers. The moment alone, because the transformers have been sitting there.
Ebuzafo eno no nti sɛ de atia Opani John Gyinapo ena mote ne kansoafo ya wo hwe ahoɔden ne so
yɛnya nkra bi sɛsi a magana bedadadi nkra no ɛnyɛ dɛ asam no ɛnyɛ dɛ Lauren Kwanhyia asi ɛwɔ mfimfin montoɔ mo baabi Winneba Cape Coast Quantempɔn so nanansa aba homa no so a obɛbɔ mu nanansa asam no rawo agye sɛ wa boy mu
so yantare kwase Yes, I'm sure you're party for the birthday now. I don't know what more a year go more than how no more ways of him to look at the Nitabako after an album I said, oh, I'm more. I also is so we're or again, the team where you're really back to my social letter. On my appreciate just in the area is here or a year at the same one. Now, I look at the appreciate, you know, a Toyota V8. That could say, let's just say, appreciate is here on any Toyota Yanta. Kasi budget so what is team yeah also many about for and I say no now Toyota V8 registration number JR 254465 and I say so a year Toyota Sienna registration number AS 5853-19 now Toyota Sienna no any actually a year man the V8 no so smart is not any actually a year Winneba the project say we do a year go more action if it one the Toyota Sienna you not just say oh you overtaking can't get me more so which you say now Carlo into me or in the Toyota Center you say oh you have a Carlo the first thing we say V8 is someone that might come to you make a now one of us also up into you find one purchase to the Toyota V8 to see anything on the smart crucial information about now cars not to crowd car back when you see a car to a panel swap on a small and papa or what thing to a cent anymore. You don't have 5 no what to a cent anymore. Not to be a interview. No, what's your name? Don't have some to a cent anymore. But I wouldn't want one get a deal crowd. Then you need to do a good show. Now, station and not just a chair and say a good yourself. Also, another hour is here. Now, station a year and 9.5 now. Look at a year to the look at some a deal of oh, you're really back to my watch it. Because it is not my what I is watching. I will my way to my
No, sir. It does say any bone. No, answer. I didn't cry free. Gomoa, I say Gomoa was to mention anymore. I will Winneba and it Cape Coast Quantempɔn eso.
Abusafo yen twaso na yen kwen na bo shebe electric cars ye kan fo dia ma o mesrew ya ko ne kwaje nkane ate unse bo shebe de nkane ane de bi ye kan fo de ma o se ye nkane no eye papa eye je obi ate ase mo amu pe cables no unse Starbucks product ne de obi anim se bo sheba nko ane kra de eba Ghana fa na ba bia wo de o tia ma no ne bra na fo ni behwa de wo ban ha ho se wo shepo ne ma na nkane na ke ma sa obeche kura de ne wo be ba kura be ka se bia kura nka ho sanse de oba bi hu ha no eye je adum ha bo sheba plaza so frank ne woni wa kanyina wa ha sanso so na ntiata akofo dan ne munsa be kan yen de dan foforo no ani kechi aduba di hwani mu no ye bo 0536 095 96 0322 030 83 a promise heba nso frɛw sɛ bra bɛgye nro wo penuro yɛ heba nro ne dia ampa biagye atom sɛ ɛyɛ promise heba ne nro ne dia gyae yɛmfa deɛ ne ngu ma ne nkyɛ zan sɛ yɛgye ne baako mienu miɛnsa no na foforɔ san ba yɛyɛ deɛ ɛne yɛ papa acha na wotwe bia foforɔ san ba nti tobo asene bra aduro bia wo pɛ yɛ heba aduro no wo ba bɔ hyɛba plaza dan mu a promise heba wo ba beto yɛn ɛwɔ ha 0535 544681 0535 544681 divine for so efrewo say woto bo ase na wo ba nkwa wodo bi a wo pe say ye bags a wodo mpa bo a be hye wo ba mesro ya ma honam ne nkasa ma me de wo ba de say honam no atitigu sa na ye bogobogobogo sa no na afi ba bia aye mremre na wo ba de ade na aye bawe wo ba wachi bawe say denche mechi ehia mesro divine mercy cosmetics anase Erica cosmetics oba nkwaduo ni nyina no beboa wo ama wo de na tete agu okobia wo so yo besima we gya kwa wadum esesa no chi plaza 053 0553 457200 0553 457200
okay ma yentua kasebo no do emfa emamo na in the day wo oye oman ye sika krabia batana oye Bank of Ghana was inyama egu akwanmu a inde wapa oye penyin pa orobada hono board na in the day wapa no hotama na chede oye ahyase foforo kra ozema Bank of Ghana woli chem de oboboa mende oman ni sikasam ntoto no wetum akwananyim na bra in the day no dwumadzi no kwodo a woropaw oye board of directors wano etamono ayaza oman hien amampanyi na bezechire meche vice president okopoemu bi afe board members ozima Bank of Ghana okopoemu bi wo ho na etitiru a indei wo redder wosikasam ntutuma nwoso wo kabia oye a wo nyimji wosikasam tutum ye pa wokopoemu wa ase bi no no na wole chem de dwumadzi boboa ema wadenhye na ade egu akwanem ema waboa ema oman Ghana sikasam ntotoe no wa konkan no no ena opanyin pa yebeka the governor of Bank of Ghana Dr. Johnson Pandit Esiama cheze oma oye impanyimfui akwaba na orekire da in the day ehwe mani ni sikasam ntotoe dem robo konanyima Bank of Ghana edim akotini ye pa inyuma kase ina nkakramba dembre godi bokodo ina afe inyama no bobo kosor ano baba fom na Ghana fo botuma nya mmose wabo na wodedi woni dwuma mama bobodi ni nyina Bank of Ghana wodi ma akotini ye pa nti ba wa bai worboboa ema ni nyina akodo na yentei yenna nkasa yenna amandebofo Reverend Isaac Hono Oyerepa News Desk ne reporter otimefa dem anamotu
Bank of Ghana apaw impeningfo fro a wofro board of directors wore ba ba hwe dwumadi ahorowa imbrembring sika krabia ne ba bedi sade abeya won totoi ene won dwumadi wo magnimu no ebetimi akonkan na governor oning da Bank of Ghana no Dr. Johnson Pandit Esiama edin samahoro atugwa ne wa kire se Bank of Ghana ni so ade hunu se wo behwe ma sika samu or how ahroa earning ekodore macroeconomic stability no wobetimi eso earning ano.
This moment, Your Excellency, marks the beginning of a new chapter for our institution, back on a renewed commitment to financial stability. Your Excellency, your presence here this morning underscores the importance that the government places on the work of this central bank. The role of the Bank of Ghana has never been more critical. We stand at a time of significant economic challenges, which are macroeconomic instability, rising inflationary pressures, currency volatility, and fiscal constraints.
Dr. Johnson Pandit Esiama, the governor of Bank of Ghana, in the Debra board of directors, Waterpa Wonotamono, na Oti Daminsami Yinara.
International Women's Day eda wiase afana nyina yekai de ema de boa mansan de boa fie baabia na emrasha badwamu enra doma sabato mpeso no so mrasha badjani honorable Rahel Owusuwa wosena ni agye ho pa na ema nyina mata kuyi ko kari ema yaade afri se ema horo ntoma kwa asuo kwa nyina ehwemma ene ma ye adwuma kɔ na ma wo so don wo kromu ena ma wiakata ma so anya asem ketwa midwives a nurses ne won ya wo ka ho ma ne won ma wura agriculture emu titru wo se ema omo ne constituency honom no nyankopon enhyira wo mo doma iti ofise ho so won ma ho keka e wo soro won mo e bo won mo homoden e wo ho.
I therefore take this opportunity also to thank all women, especially when it comes to caring for the sick and the aged. And that reminds me of our old and our first nurse named Florence Nightingale, who was also named the Lady with the Lamb. Back to the history of Shifra and Pua, they were also midwives. And upon that, we've got many midwives in the country caring for our pregnant women. And when it comes to their delivery also, they also assist them for the women to have a safe delivery.
Honorable Rahel Osuaneno, and I will say single mothers. Eye ema wonum kwa saten amon kwa na hwe wonum ma be manimu wonum kwa na hwe ma no woso wom so eye ade pa na se oye ekunu nso a bomode na ye wadwuma ye sabi enfo sika nyina nkotana do Tokyo so mu da bi ni fo sika nyina nkotana ghetto enfo sika nyina ni sabi ema foforo echi ema wo ma eto entity.
And I want to express my sincere thanks to mothers who are single parents for carrying their children and then bringing them up for their betterment when it comes to education. I therefore congratulate all women for assisting husbands, families, when it comes to the care of our children. Let me take this opportunity as well to congratulate all women, especially the old ladies who have been taking care of the aged and the sick people.
Onimanyafo Rahel Owusuwa eye mrashe bejamni doma is about 1 peso so.
Embre keme Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly say yemfa da mokwan ne dune yenka ka mode ndede ye free afi asin oyadza eto nkakra mofra ne tekita wodjeje oye hona wodi djuma wo hone oye importemu no oyadza watutumi ye pa nti modidi hyene so na hon atogefo no woba enyi hon etuma digima na diskana mono sande kemefo na wasoma hon wolichem da hona waya apampamu store wode nyama asin woni tidutan hona waya bodwo ni nyinara ede biara ticket no obotwan oye 2 cedis afa hona wo pretty shops nso no hon ticket be 3 cedis de biara hona woton kube won so wo ticket 10 cedis de biara obotua afa chop bafo won so ticket 10 cedis and won our operate oil restaurants and won so wo ticket oil 3 cedis afa offices won ticket oil 4 cedis ni ara de biara na financial institutions today banks microfinance and afa credit unions na de no won nyinara oyadza won de ne yebosom ti bosom biara oyadza obotua 300 Ghana cedis ndikemesi won shanen so entino ekon so ya opanyimpa oda oya tujiji asoye anu hona asoye won iye dora abe ntin kaboy epenchirim bia na nti bibia sa afra na gimu nchirem 0240 407 830 na ombo wo ho num emfa emamo na afei dwumayi bi lepe eden ope either 2 and 3 bedrooms na wetum na wa rent mechira 2 and 3 bedrooms apartment dankora ebiana na ebaasa na chede ebenya bibia hyehyemi bi na wetum na watenem na wakwadwuma ye adwumayi a ofie ya bomodena na manibie na inde bia ya openi akokɔ space ena nimpotem ho nyinara enya bi wo ho a opɛ ena fem atefoa ena nimpotem ho nyinara onya bi wo ho a opɛ ohwim ena nimpotem onya bi wo ho a opɛ abrepɔ hwarara ena nimpotem a wetwe ho akyɛ nyina no onya bi wo ho opɛ na mmom no mayere kan de no agent mesra wada agent biara afa wo pen erehwɛ dan ka mbɔbɔ na mama achoro fa pen to yem agent erebu egu phone no so afa phone to baby yem agent na mmom if you ra do your landlord and a landlady ahwan ene wonfa e wo bia afaboa 2 and a 3-bedroom apartment. If you are our friend 0244 750 196 0244 750 196 no ma wake yan kaibo nti se modino final announcement nkotin da amfa nkaibo ntwom na wonto do na eduman student metre nana kojo efa otodo ebasan eduman hin na olfrey na eduman hin lefre na olchem de obiara a wato asase wo oye eduman nkunwa asase ne hunu biara no ya indei edi ye project biara ana ejapadi biara bia ewo dem asase do no de ye oba de ye benyin bomodzinara fa document a owo nsase no ho fa bra na wonya nhwehwem na wo hunu de eto asase no aiza ye ejapadi no nkrata wotima no oye nkrata papa ntin bomodzinara na fabra na walechede walfre obiara so a owo asase ewo oye eduman ene nempotem wonyina de inde o de wodi wobana wohwe insase nim na nkrata mu na demre woye nhihye na adi bibia no hu de bibia dem kronji nti da wodi no oye jopati bi iwo oye asase no do aye jopati wodo ana anye jopati wodo no munyina nso no momra no mo hwehwem afi se ato asase ne bi wo eduman nananum akongwa asase no do ato bi wo ho na inyanya nkrata awoso bra na wonfa inyama nwa kwenu mu na wonhwe na indei nkrata bibiara inkodo mfama na wasebo modena fa nkrata na bro oye afrancho krobo blue gate afrancho krobo blue gate eho ena ezi nkrata ne beba na waye bibia eja montin wo srawte se wasase iwejapade da ye nkrata wo eduman nananum atenkonwa asase do a bombodzinara na bra no wonfa nhwehwemu na wo nkrata papa ntino frenambe na zechi 0264 629 680 0264 629 680 ka woni de nka boy free nana kwadwo efa otode basa eduman hin na soye inoroba
wenso ayo panyi Samuel ya opoku eyen kaibo eni ewramu opanyi Samuel ya opoku na eyen kaibo onya frinhia ede wotwe miensa na dodo no afra black man anake aduane abusia panyi kofi adu yebo a eti paso efta friend elder du yebo a tek eje kumase no wo na nabaafo osai twafo ya wotosomienu otumfo aprede hene abrepo aprede hene otumfo aprede hene abrepo opanyi omani kwache wasepase brigadier General George Kofi Eje retired one crying nana kwame apew ye chairman go so cosign number 1 GPRTU Kumase enuano mane memba ne oba panyi efu apoku o Canada oba panyi adwoa so obantima Kumase osofo akwasi pipra o Canada ofasenom ne madam akoso anyako race course bantima Kumase ura Kofi Poku chartered accountant o Kumase ha madam Doresa mo wusu a Piesie choba bantima Kumase emane owura ire nana amanyako Frankfurt Germany owura ire Nina osai jesi wo UK Esther Ago Asare Conforno Teaching Hospital and we didn't do Mrs. Anita Adadi Poku wo Hamburg Germany ora akosi pepra wo trade Kumase nana Poku ajemai and so eka emana hom Nyankopon ebo a opanyi Samuel Poku K aka Blackman wode na obeto empem memenda 15th March ewo baby oye yi no de beto empem memenda ahomache abrepokese Methodist School Park ahomache kosi anopa nondu afei ade achi a ombekwa kokora no abrepokese amusie be nondu no na afei yie no o maba bisi nkonya memenda ye 15th no ewo baby a witaye ye funeral grounds abrepokese Methodist School Park ne so dumienu ekosi no nsia and as sombeko so kosi the 16th March ewo Bethel Methodist Church ohima man from na wotwe anopa ekosi anopa dubaako abusuan besa tenase empo adofo beba beka wo ho ejamfo adonfo beba beka ho 16th March kosi ada no a eye wi freedom yenu empa mo ekosi anwumro no nsia na omanom ne sikasa na fe yenkae no wonom aye ewo honom nti opanyi Samuel ya opoku aka Black Man K ene da fom no abusua ne adofo frese yemra emejam wonom
Kofi Bempon ya otosumi no waso hene eno nana te yipa so nana Kofi amankwa waso jase hene nana Kofi tonto ono nso eboase mama hene eno no woni oka obie mu etise owura John Frempon boase oyoko abusua pani sanso nana Puku boaso abusua pani eja eni mano bedu kumasia no wo enana oba pani ya ejapa ebuakwa eno nso owo enuanum ma ne mema bi ti se George Ata Ajiman dodo no ase ejata Oyerepa FM Oyerepa TV enyina ne wa Promise Broadcasting Limited ti ejata yiyo no aduru ho ne maame sanso so na Felicia ni sister nata no Felicia Oduru buakwa eno no so wo Cecilia Oduru ewo dweso sanso na Alex Oduru ewo oboase enkodai ni maame se wa dono ase Madam PS wo ebuakwa Gabriel Kusi Kizito ebuakwa Azuna Teresa Kusi ewo ebuakwa Presla Kusi ono so waye emanum ebia omnyina kire se owuraye Ata Ajiman do na se atankwan enyamfi aduanan nkron 49 twedi ampatronsa afre no yakropon ya adomu a eye memenda idi anim ya obani musume wumi ne de toso dunu pepepe ebuakwa Division School Park eni nyina edi ani kire no nan ne de pepem se no nkron pam no ya mpam jamfo twa ne jawa ni no akire no beto ne nem na fi osada wo ho a ya bisi nkonwa ewo ebuakwa Division School Park hono a no ye premtobre kopema nwumre no nsia ya nom atankwan sikasa yi de che kosiada de toso dunsia Christ Pentecostal Church ebuakwa macro no FDL junction hono a no nkron bepem premtobre na editwedi ampa aseda koma no se agi atankwan ato Abraham Kukum no akire no ye dan ye ho a ebuakwa Division School Park donc ebepem nsia ekire se yedi aka nyina ahyehye so ade ache adwada ade to so dunso abusua bihia na fi ebongonta ne yedi ho nkra ti atuensa efrese moba beboy
ani na yemfa na wotwedadie ntwato we ye na wotwedadie ipaso hene ene abusua panyi na kwa mechiritwie na maame akua friye ene da for minute afre no mommy wenyamfinhia aduowotwe ensiam na emane na opoku ageman OA Travel and Tours Beatrice Opoku, Biapo Ventures, Margaret Sana, Magentouch Ventures, Hega Samoa, Sanako Ventures, and a Comfort Opoku, Conf Opoku Enterprise. Gift Yajamai Fojo, Rob Gift Enterprise, a man no. Now Musinya Kopon ebo 16th March, eye Kusia de ya, Ombesim Kunya, Abompata, ewo New Swami Division School Park and so, New Swami Division School Park and so. Now no more aye na ocheda no ewo hombedi mami akwa free ni na ocheda ewo ho anopa no nsia ekusi enwumre no nsia wo se afade no anantade a yebehye no eye black and white en fafita eni tuntum ena emra
na na twerebu a bawu bonsafo oyotumfo aboafo hene na nate ayipa so sanso na na se wa bonsu abankro hima enono abusuapani nana antwibu asiako ewa America memo nana bawu a nsotumfo aboafo hene kontihene o enkran nana kwadwo agiman otumfo aboafo hene jase hene okumasia nana owusu baafo bosompem otumfo aboafo abusuapani owusu buache sanso ono de dodo na nim se bimpo pi no ne tade frɛ no oyo jeso English mem UK woni wa kan bi mu te sɛ madam ya mansa okumasia adwa nkroma ewa America owuraye Eunice Buache ageni Buaten amasewa ene no kumase owuraye gifti ohene asiama no nsoso dodo na ase afia nyako owo English mem Anthony Ekusi wo kumase sansoso no ni wa kan bi mu te sɛ Anthony Ekusi kumase an wo owura Kwame Buache echampon ewa America owura obi echampon so enkran Augustine Buache eni chai eni we na dwuma kumase ya oba pani amasewa agona ena abi hono owura ye Mary Amponsa kodua ewo edweso eni abusuan nyina kire se wo mede hye prekope Madam Mercy Buache onyamfie aduonum miensa pepepe dani benkum so twedi apoya adoma abisi memenda benim de to so dunu pepepe busumi ya yewum ye kaseme de di animi adwoso bankro busuafie ye na ya mpem no nan amache abusua be ya amamre ne amani akoto nenem e wa bankro na wada won ho adwoso abankro ba bia wotena ye yie noa donko ebepem anwumere no nsia no wasi nkonwa aye no wayi ne wokire de to so dunsia besi kwasi ada besi de di animi Roma Catholic asafum no e wadwoso abankro na odi twedi ampo aseda be kwa akoma no wada wo ho pe na wasan besi nkonwa e wadwoso abankro no eye donko ebepem no nsia no wode di aka nyina hwohwo onse yie die yenkoja ade atoani a enye wa na wi timomra na momabua ya misa nkobia anwumre mechiawo misa nkobia mechia papa sanso na Mr. Ofori na du na ne won ya waka nyina mia me wofa jaya ba kope na afi Romeo munyina mechia mwate twedi ampo enye nyina dum na onka ye ho abusua no angatwaso
maso minchia adofo bi a woriti hen ayumbre sister B, sister Mavis, dada na afi brother Moss na sister Kone nyansapofo nyina woriti news no ye gina idu na ye zinde nyumbre kasebo no nsia kasebo ye de bramwo Oyerepa FM na afi ye chine live wo Facebook no ye de si na semufu panyini ye owura Emmanuel Odro Korea eno osem dimayen na aboafo no doso afi na nayo popra amanse dehie na afi Christabel na wo boy na chi dom the producers ehia no so a enwumre ye bosom na ye nuanom baasa oyasemu Krobea Asante Piesie Lardi na ame uncle ebo baine ye so da mo from my yalko yakada sofu boy taba mpanyimfo batena ase na watentire sofu boy te wala nyim hey you get out of fuck here fucking damn shit police Oyerepa get out of here.
Hello. Me bacho me did na Asante so aba me fra o free Oyerepa FM.
Hey, you guys get the fuck out of here. The case is the fucking damn police, man. Fucking
damn police.
Hey!